Hello, my name is James Prickett and I am with Richard Pritchard. As far as last year, we had these cannons here at the Heisey Fall Festival and I was fascinated with them. As far as some of the things I'd like for you to tell me about these in history, I take it these are replicas, these are not the real McCoy?
They are replicas.
They are replicas. Well, tell me about the Civil War in regards to cannons. Is this a standard cannon that they would use?
No, it is not. They would use a full-scale cannon. These are full-scale howitzers. They would use Barrett rifles and Napoleons and Wheelards.
And I understand these have to be broken down into pieces and packed out of here, right?
It depends on the area. If there were roads, they could pull them behind horses or artillery. Or if there was woods, they usually took the wheels off, the barrels off the carriage, and put them on 2 mules or 2 horses.
So how would they straddle a cannon on a mule?
One mule would take the wheels and the trail. The other mule would take the barrel.
Just right along the center line of the back?
Yes.
Wow, that would be so hard on the invalid, but that was a struggle of war then. What did they use for ammunition?
Solid shot, grape shot, and just multiple things. If they ran out of ammunition, they were usually putting knives and forks and rocks.
Yeah, and something I found fascinating too that I didn't know until last year was that it was about fuses. I always thought the cannonball hit something and then exploded, and you said no, that they were so good with the fuses and cutting them? What's this about?
Yes, on time delay, fuses is what they were, because they did a lot of math and like algebra and things like that. They had to know what time, how far to shoot the balls out so they explode either overhead or on the ground.
So they had to shoot an awful lot of this, kind of like you were good with your BB gun. You have to know where that is going. That is for sure. As far as there's another cannon on the far side, is it the same thing as this one, or is there a difference?
It's a different gun.
What is it?
That is a mountain howitzer there. But the red one is a British deck gun that we were talking about. The mountain howitzer over there is a 6-pounder. They weren't actually used too much in the Civil War, but they were there for backup. Where they were mostly used were the Indian Wars after.
Okay, so when the Shawnee was here in this area and the first white people came through and they had troubles and the military come through, it would be they were using this cannon here.
Yes.
Little
the
red
smaller ones.
And that's the one that the British were trying to get down in here too, also during the Indian Wars. Versus the other one, you said it's a howitzer?
It's a mountain howitzer.
And that's what they would be using in the Civil War.
Well, after the Civil War, the Indian Wars out west.
Oh, the Indian Wars out west. That's interesting.
That's where they hauled them out because they were easy to maneuver, small, to get around.
And what kind of powder charges are you using today?
I use a 6-pound powder charge, or 6 ounce.
Somebody's using a 50 caliber muzzle loader. How much grains are you using?
50 caliber, probably about 75 to 80.
Okay, 75, 80 grains. I mean, it makes a pretty good boom.
Yes.
It's really exciting. We've been showing some of this on our Facebook Live as well as it's been on our video. And it's getting near 4 o'clock and we'll be shooting another round off. Well, it's been fascinating. Any other history you can tell me about the cannons in this time period?
The red one here you see is a 10-pounder British deck gun that was mounted to a single trail carriage. And the green one is a 6-pounder mountain howitzer that's mounted to a full-size carriage that was taken off a picture from the Civil War artillery yard that they were putting guns back together that got destroyed.
Now, you're saying a 6-pounder. I'm assuming that is 6-pound ball. That's what you mean by a weight of the projectile is 6-pound ball. The other thing is, I was fascinated is how did you make it? I mean, did you have to cast the steel?
No, the actual barrel on this red one is what they call a Schedule 180 seamless tube. So it's a steel tube that's been forged from a steel factory.
So it already has a hole in it?
It already has a pre-hole in it. That's the way it's been forged.
Fascinating. How would they do it in the old times?
They would use poured with cast iron.
Into like a sand
Into
mold?
a sand mold, yes.
And wow. And what was their prone failure rate?
Cracks.
And they probably had a lifetime. You just can't shoot them forever.
You might get 1 or 2 shots before one blows up on you, or you might go all through the Civil War for 5 years, not even blow up.
Well, it is just fascinating what they had to deal with.